So, unironically enough, man, the feds are arresting NBA players and the mafia for scamming fans. So we're about to figure out what's going on. Hey, let's tune in.
What's poppin', y'all? I know all of y'all that be involved in that, throwing money on sports are either ecstatic today or enraged with the money that you have lost or may have been losing, and it's no fault of your own because the Fed...
Well, hold on. Just to already chime in, I haven't lost any money because I don't bet on that shit. So I guess I'm very neutral to what's happening. I've already told people who bet on that shit, if it's not for sure, hey, I can't see the cure.
It's the FBI. They arrested, can you believe they arrested Chauncey Billups, part of that legendary championship squad on the Detroit Pistons? But FBI Director Kash Patel, they investigated and just arrested a bunch of people involved with damn near what looks like a racket. I'm gonna play you guys the clip right now.
Individuals such as Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, and Terry Rozier were taken into custody today. Former, current, and...
Damn, Terry! You got it, Terry! Damn, Terry!
NBA players and coaches. What you don't know is that this is an illegal gambling operation and sports rigging operation that spanned the course of years. The FBI led a coordinated takedown across 11 states to arrest over 30 individuals today responsible for this case, which is very much ongoing. Not only did we crack into the fraud that these perpetrators committed on the grand stage of the NBA, but we also entered and executed a system of justice against La Casa Nostra to include the Bonanno, Gambino, Genovese, and Lucchese crime families.
This is crazy. I heard...
Hold on, did he just say families? So he wasn't clickbaiting when you said the mafia, was you? Well, I just say it like this, bro. It was just too much of a gain and opportunity for these betting apps to be available to players and fans.
Phillips, and I thought, what the hell? Now y'all know, like, listen, last NBA game I played, NBA Live 06. Y'all think I'm playing? I might just throw up the CD on my story or something like that. But that I remember that era. So I'm thinking Chauncey Billups still in the NBA. But I'm gonna give you guys some details on this, and we're gonna go through some events and the specific game that they're accusing Terry Rozier of like messing up several years ago. So in this tweet,
I ain't gonna lie. I will donate $100 if you shave your head. That's not enough, bro.
Pompliano, he says the FBI is holding a press conference right now on the details around this morning's sports gambling bust. Here are some of the highlights. Because if you guys remember, a couple of months ago, Gilbert Arenas got arrested. And it was over some illegal gambling, but this is a very different scenario. What Gilbert Arenas got arrested for was like, like throwing some poker games at your crib. I think at his crib in Encino or something like that. This is very different, and this is far worse. Because whatever Gilbert Arenas had going on, that's rich people stuff. This is people stealing from you honest sports bettors.
Hold on, so whatever Gilbert Arenas had going on, that was just like him doing some illegal bets or something?
Far worse, because whatever Gilbert Arenas had going on, that's rich people stuff. This is...
I straight thought Gilbert Arenas had something to do with these people getting arrested, bro. It says, I do a vid where I donate 100, so either you do it or no. I'm sorry, bro. I have a real job. I'm not going to do it.
People stealing from you honest sports bettors, right? Which I do not approve of. Y'all know I do not get involved in that whatsoever. But people stealing from you illegally too, because this is legal now. Like they legalized it across America and it didn't used to be a thing. I do think it is probably for the destruction of people's brains. Not why they legalized it, but I think that's the result of it. But it is what it is. Current and former NBA players and coaches Chauncey Billups, Terry Rozier, and Damon Jones have been arrested. This was an illegal gambling and sports rigging operation that spanned years across 11 states. In total, 30 individuals have been arrested, 13 mafia members.
Were these NBA players involved with mafia gang members? How the fuck how does that happen from one place to the other? How does it turn from, hey, I'm gonna let a few people know, to the mob and the mafia bosses get involved, to where it's like they probably approaching motherfuckers like, yeah, if you don't hit what I just told you to hit, people gonna get hit.
Case involves La Cosa Nostra, the Italian mafia. I didn't even know this still existed. I mean, people talk, we've seen more members or former members on Vlad TV than I know. Vlad's already making some phone calls of anybody associated with this trying to get some information, but the case is still ongoing, so you might wait until it's over. Charges include illegal gambling, wire fraud, and extortion. There are two separate indictments. This is very important. The first involves 6 defendants accused of participating in a sports corruption scheme that exploited insider information involving NBA players and teams. The defendants leveraged their connections to place prop bets based on confidential insider information, winning tens of thousands of dollars per bet. The second indictment involves
Damn, yeah, these niggas cooked. These niggas are overly cooked.
31 defendants charged with participating in a nationwide scheme to rig illegal poker games. The FBI says they used high-tech cheating technology to steal millions of dollars from victims in underground poker games that were secretly fixed. The two cases are separate, but there are 3 overlapping defendants, including former NBA player and coach Damon Jones. So these people, they are...
Man, these niggas Terry Rozier was definitely supposed to just be worried about fucking basketball, bro. You was replacing Kemba Walker, bro. Now what the fuck are you doing? Gambling?
Already got bread in their career and they still want to steal. Like, come on, man. The FBI says that NBA player Terry Rozier told the defendants that he was going to leave a game early on March 23rd, 2023 with an injury. Keep in mind, this is very, very important. One of the defendants, Terry Rozier, is telling them that he's going to leave the game early with an injury. That type of information is not privy to the public that are betting. The defendants then placed more than $200,000 worth of wagers on the unders for his prop bets, with Rozier leaving the...
That's fucking crazy, because trust me, if I'd have had insight from Terry Rozier, I'd put my whole paycheck betting under. Man, we finna make some money.
The game after 9 minutes. Those bets paid out tens of thousands of dollars in profits, and the defendants and Rozier counted the money at his house. I want to go over this a little bit, because what I did was I cross-referenced tweets based on that date, and you see a couple of different people that find this odd, people that are involved in this whole game. Like this one guy, Noah, said on March 23rd, he said, "Is there any reason why there are 0 Terry Rozier props on any books or DFS sites? Is he out tonight? Did I miss something? Very odd." And then some guy says, "Nah, dude, what is going on?" And then someone says, "I locked him earlier. I hope he's not injured." He says, "Usually the sites don't just pull a player off the board unless he's questionable or out. No report of either." So that's very odd, right? Another person also said, "Terry Rozier's situation smells like ish, man. So weird. Just gets pulled forever on all books and then comes back with the 25 line with no news. What am I missing?" And then people here, and this was back in January, it was
this was back in 2023, bro. It's crazy because the feds will give you time to build up that evidence on yourself before they come and get you for some shit. You know what I'm saying? And then we're gonna do a sweep.
He was being investigated. Federal prosecutors were investigating him based on that game in 2023. And Tim Reynolds said, "The Wall Street Journal reports that Terry Rozier's performance in its March 23rd, 2023 game with Charlotte is being probed by federal investigators. Rozier has not been accused of wrongdoing, we can confirm." Well, clearly he's been accused of wrongdoing now because there's charges. So that's another development here as well. So this game was very, very odd. Now, fans started posting clips of Terry Rozier playing terribly in another game. That was not the game that they were talking about on March 23rd. But I'm going to play you guys some clips from that.
And the meter's still running,
This nigga risking his job for this. That boy selling on purpose. That's crazy, chat. Straight selling on purpose.
Rozier with a 9-1-1 comes up short. On barrel. Rozier contested three is short. The ultimate teammates.
Damn, that's crazy. You can straight tell he's selling. You can straight tell he's selling. That's crazy. Boy, hell no.
So who's to say, like, you see plays like this and you're like, what the hell's going on here? The FBI says that former Raptors player Jonte Porter was threatened to participate in the sports gambling because of his gambling debts. Teams that were bet on during the sports gambling scheme include the Charlotte Hornets, Portland Trail Blazers, LA Lakers, and the Toronto Raptors. The rigged poker games occurred in the Hamptons, Miami, Las Vegas, and Manhattan. The poker scheme targeted victims who were lured to participate in rigged poker games by the chance to play alongside former professional athletes. These athletes included Chauncey Billups and Damon Jones. The FBI...
Wait. The poker scheme targeted victims who were lured to participate. So we're going to target these victims because we're going to lure them in to participate in the poker games by the chance to play alongside NBA players.
Says that, so there's two. Now they're talking about the illegal poker ring that was going on. That's different.
Going on. The poker side seems to have everything to do with the Gilbert Arenas. But one of Gilbert Arenas knew something about this part too.
From the sports fixing, even though there are overlapping people. The FBI says that the defendants utilized altered shuffling machines to read the cards in the deck and then relayed that information to an off-site operator. The off-site operator, known as the quarterback, then sent that information to someone at the table. The FBI also says that the defendants utilized other cheating technologies, including poker chip trays that read cards through hidden cameras, special contact lenses and glasses that could read marked cards, and X-ray poker tables that could read cards face down.
Chat, is that important, bro? Gambling it's like, yeah, we start gambling with money, then out of nowhere, we start gambling with our life.
Like the mafia, even with new levels of technology, they decided to adapt with the technology. Said, yo, why are we catching bodies out here in the streets? Why are we doing all of this? Yo, get the tech in here and let's start finessing. And this is some crazy finesse. I respect it. The FBI says that the defendants robbed...
bro, I respect the hell out of it. No faking.
The victim at... Oh, well, I guess, you still got to go back to the basics sometimes. At gunpoint to acquire a rigged shuffling machine. So they're even robbing...
Damn, they even robbing the motherfucker? So we gonna cheat. And after we felt like we've done enough cheating, we gonna rob they ass too. And then after we done robbing they ass, we gonna make they ass play in the NBA for certain shit. See, you can't get in the... See, you see how the shit just... slowly trickle down the line?
People for these machines. The sports gambling investigation is called Operation Nothing But Net, while the poker investigation is called Operation Royal Flush. The FBI has been working on this investigation for 4 years, with victims losing at least $7 million. One specific victim lost at least $1.8 million, and the FBI reviewed thousands of hours of video evidence and executed more than 24 search warrants. These are just accusations at this point. This is really scary, man, because... Dog, Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier and...
Well, I ain't gonna lie, man. Something had to happen, though. I don't give a fuck what it is, man. Something had to happen. Now I might get into sports betting, because now it won't seem so fucking rigged.
You can even see people thinking it was fishy, like people that constantly sports bet. Like on that day, they were like, yo, this is odd. What's going on here? Terry Rozier's attorney responded on his behalf and said the following. We have represented Terry Rozier for over a year. A long time ago, we reached out to these prosecutors to tell them we should have an open line of communication. They characterized Terry as a subject, not a target, but at 6 a.m. this morning, they called to tell me FBI agents were trying to arrest him in a hotel. It's unfortunate that instead of allowing him to self-surrender, they opted for a photo op. They wanted the misplaced glory of embarrassing a professional athlete with a perp walk. That tells you a lot about the motivations in this case. They appear to be taking the word of spectacularly incredible sources rather than relying on actual evidence of wrongdoing. Terry was cleared by the NBA, and these prosecutors revived that.
See, if the NBA do an investigation, I don't understand, bro. If the NBA do an investigation, I just can't comprehend how you still get caught up in this. The main people who want you to play, maybe they treating it like, well, the NBA just like is like coach, like we gonna get him out what the teacher talking about just to make sure he still play.
Terry is not a gambler, but he is not afraid of a fight, and he looks forward to winning this fight. The U.S. attorney said, one of the most brazen sports corruption schemes since online sports betting became widely legalized in the United States. This scheme is an insider sports betting conspiracy that exploited confidential information about the NBA athletes and teams. This is really scary, man, because it's like you're robbing from the little guy, because so many people are addicted to this. And I understand why. Some people aches, like it's exciting. Even though I don't participate in it, I understand it for sure. And to see these guys allegedly using their connection, like private knowledge, to make disgusting bags of bread on top of this guy, Chauncey Billups, is an NBA coach, and he had a lucrative NBA career. Terry Rozier, he's an NBA player. But also, the thing that about like this underground, like betting and stuff like that, is how much of this is debts. So let's just theorize, complete theory over here, complete theory, not true, not saying this is true, but let's say Terry Rozier was like a gambling addict, right? And he's doing these underground gambling games that they accused Gilbert Arenas of hosting, things of that nature. And he's in huge debt. Well, how is he going to pay off the debt? Does he want to pay it off with actual money that he earns? Or can he just throw a game that doesn't even matter for his career so that they can make bread off of it? And a bunch of people can make bread off of it. And then
Did you hear what he said?
stakes, like it's exciting. Even though I don't participate in it, I understand stakes. Like it takes, like it's exciting. Like it's exciting. Even though I don't participate in it, I understand it for sure. And to see these guys allegedly using their connection, like private knowledge, to make disgusting bags of bread on top of this guy, Chauncey Billups, is an NBA coach and he had a lucrative NBA career. Terry Rozier, he's an NBA player. But also the thing that about like this underground like betting and stuff like that is how much of this is debts. So let's just theorize, complete theory over here, complete theory, not true, not saying this is true, but let's say Terry Rozier was like a gambling addict, right? And he's doing these underground gambling games that they accused Gilbert Arenas of hosting, things of that nature. And he's in huge debt. Well, how is he going to pay off the debt? Does he want to pay it off with actual money that he earns? Or can he just throw a game that doesn't even matter for his career so that they can make bread off of it? And a bunch of people can make bread off of it. And then
Did you hear what he said? For his career. We're gonna blow this. We're gonna say fuck it all. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna pay these people back and hope that I keep my job by blowing this game.
he handles his debt. Stakes, like it's exciting. Even though I don't participate in it, I understand it for sure. And to see these guys